Welcome to the Coach Jeff Garrett Show, where each week I bring you short, bite-sized podcasts filled with powerful ideas that you can use at home and at work. I'm a thought leader that believes you can have success while living life out of balance. I'm glad you're here. Let's get the show started. When was the last time you were told you're doing a good job? When was the last time you told someone else they're doing a good job? I was recently speaking with a client, and he told me that I can't remember the last time that my boss told me that I was doing a good job or complimented me for something. I find this rather disheartening. And my next question to him was, when was the last time you told one of your team members that they were doing a good job? Because you know how this makes you feel. How do you think your team members feel if you're not doing the same? And just because you're not being told you're doing a good job or being complimented doesn't mean that you let that go downhill and don't compliment your own team. Rod Wagner and James Harter, in their book 12, The Elements of Great Managing, did some research. And in the research, they found 12 key elements that lead to great managing. They also came up with an employee engagement survey from that book called Q12, which is through Gallup. 3 of the 12 elements that I found in the book that tie to this are, number 1, in the last 7 days, have you received recognition or praise for doing good work? Number 2, my supervisor or someone at work seems to care about me as a person. And number 3, there is someone at work that encourages my development. Leaders, take note on this. If nobody's letting you know how you're doing or encouraging you, how does that make you feel about your job or about the company in general? Do you feel like anybody cares about you if nobody's talking to you about these things? So as a leader, it's very important that you cover those 3 elements. In fact, all 12 elements are very important, but those 3 in particular, and what I'm talking about today, are critical. This past weekend, I enjoyed watching a movie called The Upside, and The Upside had a character by the name of Dell and another character by the name of Philip. And Dell and Philip became friends during the movie. Dell was an ex-con who Philip was a billionaire who had been paralyzed. And Philip hires Dell to help him and to take care of him. And Dell is absolutely the worst applicant for the job. And Philip knows this because Philip really has kind of a death wish, and he knows that Dell's the least qualified to take care of him. But the movie is based on a true story. And as I said, Dell and Philip develop this friendship as they go. But one of the things that Philip does is he encourages Dell. He tells Dell, probably for the first time in Dell's life, Dell, you are intelligent. Dell, I think you're very smart. And you could just see Dell's face change. And Dell, the expression on his face was one of, wow, nobody's ever told me anything like that before. Why would he tell me that? You could just see that on his face. Philip also encouraged Dell to start his own business. Dell tells Philip about some of his business ideas he has. Some of them are really funny and some of them are plain dumb, but then there's some real good business ideas too. And in the end, Dell does end up opening a business. And Philip helps Dell to earn some money, to have seed money to start that business. You'll have to watch the movie to learn how Philip does that. Encouragement is magical. It's amazing how you can instill belief in someone by giving them encouragement, how you can uplift someone. My wife and I were recently at dinner last Friday, and there was a couple with their 2 daughters sitting across from us. One of the daughters was telling the dad quite loudly about one of her accomplishments for the week. And the dad told her how proud he was of her, and he gave her a high five. And the smile on her face was just radiant, and she's just totally lit up. It was just a really cool thing to see. You know, it doesn't take a lot to encourage people. And it's really important that you encourage the people that work with you or for you. As a parent, it's extremely important that you encourage your children. And as a spouse, it's really important to encourage your spouse and or your significant other. I challenge you this week to encourage someone. Point out to someone what a great job they're doing. Thanks for listening, and be audacious. You have just listened to the Coach Jeff Garrett Show. If you enjoyed the show, go to iTunes, subscribe to the show, write a review, and give us a rating. Thank you for listening, and remember to be great.